Hey, what is happening, Impact Wrestling fans? Welcome to the Roberto's Wrestling YouTube channel, and today we got a show to review Impact Wrestling from March 29, 2018. So the show opened up with Austin Aries running into Matt Sydal with Josh Matthews. They talk about a little bit about Option C, and Aries told Sydal that he haven't got a chance to hold the grand title. So he challenged Sydal into a match, title versus title, the world title versus the grand champion. And that is going to be the main event of the evening, the first match of the night. Petey Williams versus Raju versus Suicide versus Taichi Ishimori in a four-way X Division style match. This match reminds me a lot of the way Impact Wrestling used to book the X Division matches back in the good old days, 2006 to 2009. At the end of the match, we saw Petey Williams hitting his world famous finisher, the Canadian Destroyer, on Suicide for the victory. Petey Williams, after the match, ended up bringing his Fist or Fire briefcase and he cut a promo on Matt Sydal. And I actually got exclusive video of that.
So Matt Sydal, what that means, on April 22nd,
we coming for you, nigga.
The second match of Redemption, Petey Williams versus Max Sydal for the X Division title. And hopefully there is a new champion on the way. Next we got Eli Drake being interviewed backstage, and he explained that he is a one-man show, something that the history would be in disagreement because he already have like two bodyguards. But forget about that. Let's not call him a liar. He's telling the truth, right? He said that he doesn't like to share the spotlight, but he ended up having another idea in mind. Later during the evening, he ended up facing Moose and asking to trade cases since Moose have the world title shot in the Fist of Fire case. So they ended up setting a match for next week. Eli Drake versus Moose, case versus case. Next we got the debut of Su Young. Braxton Sutter was the one who introduced her to the ring. Obviously, you knew that it was gonna be a squash match. Ended up destroying her in like 30 seconds and hitting her finisher, the panic switch. Next, we got Johnny Impact being interviewed backstage when Jimmy Jacobs ended up showing up and doing his usual shtick. So that lead us to a match that probably is gonna be happening in the near future. Congo Kong versus Johnny Impact. Are you looking for that match? Let me know in the comment section below. Next, we got Taya and Rosemary having a backstage brawl, and we got referees and people getting involved. And at the end, we saw Rosemary being able to climb at the top of a trailer and doing a jumping on front of everybody and throwing them to the floor. Good build up for their match, probably once again at the pay-per-view Redemption. Next, we got a match from Wrestle Pro in Brooklyn, Fallah Bahh versus KM. As you know, I am not a fan of matches at the ending due to the substandard production value. So I did not pay much attention. However, there's one thing that I need to say. This is a good pairing. KM versus Fallah Bahh. Those are two mid-carders that have a lot of charisma. And the future of a wrestling promotion depends a lot on how you use your mid-card. It's the same way as the economy. It doesn't, have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. KM was able to beat Fallah Bahh by putting his foot on the ropes. Next, we got Brian Cage versus Bobby Lashley. This match had a lot of actions. We saw Brian Cage hit a Huracanrana on Lashley. Then Lashley got pissed off by that, and he decided to do a Huracanrana of his own. Cage did like a drop kick. He ended up throwing Lashley out of the ring and hit a suicide dive on top of him. Lashley was able to get back into the ring, catching Cage on the top rope and tossing him into the floor. Brian Cage eventually got back into the ring with a springboard DDT. Lashley, after that, was finally able to hit his signature spear, but Brian Cage rolled out of the ring. Cage was miraculously able to hit his discus lariat on Lashley, and he defeated Lashley. So Brian Cage beat Lashley on their first encounter. I would love to see a rubber match between those two in the near future. Hopefully at the pay-per-view. Next we got Allen talking with Gail Kim backstage, and Gail Kim giving her some motivation not to be discouraged that now Braxton Sutter is with Su Young and trying to, get a hold and attacking Ali. Next we got Eddie Edwards going into Ohio. He ended up showing up at Rockstar Pro Wrestling, and he got into a confrontation between him, OBE, and Sami Callihan. Once again, they were able to do things with the baseball bat. The baby faces during this whole thing, it seems to be OBE and Sami Callihan, since they were the hometown talent. After that, Sami Callihan ended up recording a promo saying that he let Eddie in just to prove a point, and he will be coming for OBE and all of his friends. Which that led me to this question: would this be the perfect time to bring back David Richards just to help Eddie Edwards a little bit, even for a short period of time? Main event time. Title versus title. Matt Sydal with Josh Matthews versus the Bell Collector, Austin Aries. Grand Championship versus World Title. Alberto El Patron was watching the match backstage, obviously paying attention. During the first segment of the match, it was like a stand down kind of deal, feeling each other out. Aries tried to hit a suicide dive, but Matthews was able to grab his foot, allowing Matt Sydal back into the ring. But Aries was able to hit a big forehand after that. After that, Austin Aries went in for a Death Valley driver on the apron, but Matthews was able to jump in and in front of him, obviously distracting him. Once again, during the match, Matthews was on the apron, but this time around, Petey Williams ended up showing up and pulling him out and keeping an eye on him. At the end, we saw Matt Sydal trying to hit a shooting star press. He ended up landing on his feet. Aries was able to hit his discus forearm, a running drop kick, and his world famous brainbuster. And that was it. Winner and new grand champion, Austin Aries, and Alberto El Patron was still watching the match on TV. And that's how this episode of Impact Wrestling finished. Let me know what you thought about this match so far. Let's talk about what is gonna be happening next week and do a little revival of the things that was announced for next week. Taishi Ishimori versus Johnny Impact. That is gonna be happening next week. Hopefully it's very athletic since you got two people who are up that alley. And obviously Moose versus Eli Drake. Case versus Case. As my overall thoughts on the show, this was an about average show with two solid main events. Hopefully they keep growing their audience on TV. As a customer, I am quite happy with what I am seeing, and the numbers are proving that. Let me know your thoughts about this show in the comments section below. And if you watch this review all the way through, make sure to comment saying RDW, hashtag RDW, to let me know how many people were able to finish this recording and watching this review. So that's it. Goodbye and thanks for listening.